leopard. And there is little Hosana, as far as I can tell, sitting on a dead tree, perched magnificently in the morning light, and he's not too close to where the kill was. And I don't know who else is around here. I don't know if Karula's here. He does keep looking down towards the ground. I'm just going to quickly call Brent in. I don't know that he's heard me call this. Brent, do you copy, Brent? Brenty, we did relocate the young male on Rebecca's in the drainage line just on the western side of the road. I'm just going to move forward, everyone, so we can just have a look, see what he's looking at. Poor Johan has been much like us, looking, hopefully, for these leopards. Now let's just keep an eye on this termite mound here, and in the drainage line down below, for the others. We know, of course, that leopards are very clever at hiding. Say when you've got a picture, Jean-Marie. Is that right? A little bit further. We'll stop there before we frighten him. Isn't that cool? He looks very relaxed on his tree here. Now, what Jean-Marie was saying to me the other day was that, who were you with, Jean-Marie? Brent or Byron. But Karula went back to fetch the cubs to a kill, and she then killed something else on the way back. And so I wonder if that isn't the case here. I think it's probably going to happen quite a lot while the little impala lambs are around the place. Isn't this just a wonderful picture? We'll do a little bit of a turn around the termite mound to see if either of the others are here. But he's panting, he's breathing relatively heavily, and I wonder if they haven't eaten something fairly recently. In fact, I'm pretty sure they have. So I don't think they're very hungry. That is just wonderful. We're sitting now, what, Andre, about, I don't know, 5 meters from him maybe? 7.1 meters, thank you very much, as he looks down on us. And I'm pretty sure, at the very least, Shongile is somewhere around here. Lucy, a very nice one from you. Of course, we're always worried when we see these cubs on their own. They're 10 months old as of yesterday. And you say, would he be in danger without his mum around from any other predators? Yes, he could be, but, he's almost the same size as Karula now. And so, physically, he's not much less capable than she is. Obviously, he doesn't have the experience, though, and so what he has to watch out for is his lack of understanding and experience and his naturally over-curious young male leopard sort of characteristics. On this tree, though, the only thing that could have a go at him would be another leopard, or a lioness could get up there, but she'd probably be quite nervous to go to the end of the branch where he's sitting. This is just a wonderful picture. That's just Johan moving into position. And he else. You see, he's looking around the place. I wonder if there isn't something else or someone else around. And all around the birds are calling. What a perfect, perfect way to begin our morning. Well, to sort of have the middle of our morning, shall we say. Isn't that cool? Oh, hang on. What was that? Something just shot out of the bushes to where he's looking. Don't know what it was. Could easily be one of the others. Maybe it's Shongile after some squirrel breakfast. He's just a picture of relaxation, though, isn't he? Saturday morning, taking a load off on the weekend. Yeah, Brenda, I have to agree with you. You say he got so big. You said for a second you almost confused him with Sindile. He's not quite that big yet, but Brenda, from where we spotted him, what was it, probably at about, 40 meters or so, I looked and I thought young male leopard. That was the first thing I thought. And once that starts to happen, you know that he's just getting that shape of a young male. His head is getting big. His head is the size of his mother's now. He's maybe not quite as tall as her. His feet are the same size, definitely, if not bigger. Yeah, that foot is about the same size. And you can see he's panting. He's been eating. They have been on a kill somewhere and are perhaps in transition towards their new kill. How very lucky we have been. I'm just going to scan around and see if I can't spot some spots. Now, Marco, aka Siberia Zumi, you were wondering about at what age they will develop the full roar or chuff. Well, the chuff is different from the roar. The chuff is that chuffing sound, the choo, 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 choo sound that they make. I think they probably do that already. The full full-throated roar, I imagine, will probably only be fully there around about 2 years, but they won't use it. He won't use that until he's probably 4 or 5 when he starts to take a territory. Before that, it'd be very dangerous for him to use it. So the animals, the vocal animals that we do see, of course, the young lions, which have a very similar kind of vocal arrangement, they don't have deep-sounded roars until they're much older, until they're at least, say, 18 months to 2 years old. And they've still got that kind of whiny noise that they make. He is posing magnificently. Sandra, could you go and move those branches from in front of his face? I can't drive forward because I will bash this bush. We could go around the other side. In fact, let's do that. Let's move gently around the other side there. And I think we might also get a better view of whether there isn't another leopard around. Please don't move, Hosana. Right, in the meantime, while we move around, let's go and find out how Pajamas is doing on foot and what her plans are for the next little while. I know that I was supposed to tell you what she's looking for, but I failed to hear what it was, so she will do that for you. The little leopard, everybody, was spotted by some impala, and he's through there. And I mean, I don't know where he's going or where he thinks he's going, but you know, we're going to be quite sensitive about how we follow him, because if he's now on his own. And the impala started shouting at him, and then he moved. He obviously didn't want to be and have his presence announced. They're still shouting. And we'll just see if... I wonder if they haven't spotted another one, except he wouldn't have moved if there'd been another leopard. Did you see exactly where he went, Jandri? Straight through, huh? We'll just ease our way through here, and we are going to be very sensitive about following him. So we might lose him, but that's okay. We've had a great sighting, and then we'll head back to the kill. And we've got Johan going around the other side. I just want to see if he doesn't go to ground in the drainage. Mike, a very nice one. I mean, he's now, of course, moving on his own, and you're saying, when do I think he'll start hunting or helping on the hunt with his mum? He will never really be so much of a helper on the hunt. He will just kind of follow gently behind. Go ahead. We can't see him at the moment, Johan. No, we have got him, sorry. He's now static just underneath this big tree. I'm just trying to get a view now. No, he's moved. Yeah, he's in the drainage. You need to get into the drainage, Johan. He's static in the drainage. We'll try and move in there now, everybody. So, Mike, they don't really help on the hunt so much as start to hunt on their own, if you know what I mean. So they don't ever hunt cooperatively like leopards do, at least like lions do. Look, I'm sure they have done it before. And we've certainly seen Tingana and Karula on a relatively large sub-adult leopard, a sub-adult buffalo. And that I don't think they could have killed unless they'd helped each other. Yeah, look, he's only about 150 meters to the north of the drainage at the moment, where it crosses Rebecca's. Sorry, everybody, we're just trying to get Brent into the sighting. Where? There. Oh, there. I see him now. Right, hold on. Watch your heads, everybody. Let's just see if we can't get a view. I can see him. We'll just show you where he is. We'll just show you his head popping up through the bush there. There we are. But in the meantime, look, we'll try and get one little view again. But if he moves again, I'm not going to try and follow him, I don't think. Just simply because he's a little bit young. And then we'll head back towards the kill and see what's going on there. So Johan's moving in at the moment, and I'm just going to let him to move. That's wonderful English. I'm just going to let him move, and then when he's switched off and got a view, we'll stop and move again. Such a gorgeous morning. Temperature is perfect. Gentle breeze, birds calling, and golden leopard in the middle of the bush. Dale, you're a relatively new viewer. I think I spoke to you yesterday for the first time. You want to know how long Karula will leave the cubs for at any one time. And the answer, Dale, is it's really difficult to say how long. And it's also interesting that as they get older, of course, that period will increase, and he will actually separate himself every so often from the mother and his sister. So, I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't imagine much longer than 48 hours. All right, Johan has stopped moving, so I'm going to move a little bit closer. We'll try and get one last view. Otherwise, we've had a wonderful time with him so far. Peer into the drainage line here and see if there isn't a mum and a daughter. They're all having some girl time, Andre, you see that? Now, R.T. Lofelt, you've asked an interesting question about whether leopards like lions roar from the diaphragm. Not really sure what you mean there, R.T. Lofelt. A lion and a leopard have a very similar structure of... I'm going to run these tambuti trees over. They are protected trees. They have a very similar structure to the larynx or vocal cords and the apparatus that holds those vocal cords in place. And, you know, they blow air through that apparatus in much the same way that we blow air through our vocal cords in order to make them vibrate. And so I'm not sure what you mean by from the diaphragm. The sound, there's definitely no sound coming from the diaphragm. The diaphragm, of course, is used to contract the lungs and push air out of them. And if you are a loud roaring animal, that obviously happens a lot more. It happens a lot more forcefully than it does in other animals. There we go. How's that, Andre? Don't say I don't ever do anything for you. Is that right for you? There. Not ideal, is it? It'll do for now. Forward. Yes, good idea. There you go. Stick in the ear now. Stick in the ear or leaf on the nose. There we go. Gorgeous. So he's probably moved about, say 150 meters, 450 feet. So, I mean, the radius in which his sister and mother could be is quite wide. I think it's so interesting that those lions are exactly where they have been so many times in the last little while. Gail, you say it's because his sister's not around, is there a chance that he's lost? No, I don't think so. He knows exactly where he is. I think his mum and his sister will be close by somewhere. I remember Brent had a long sighting of her, not him, and for, I don't know, for 2 hours he sat with this little leopard. And not this little leopard, the sister, and right at the end of the sighting, he popped up from nowhere. So it really wouldn't surprise me at all to find that she was very close by. But interesting, the reason he moved there was because those impala were alarm calling. They were starting to advertise his presence, which made him feel uncomfortable. He knew that instinctively. And now he's moved off to where he can lie in the shade. You see how heavily he's breathing? That is purely a function of the fact that he's got a fat, full belly. And he's gold, eh? He's much golder than his mother, I think. Amber, have you ever had a huge Sunday lunch or after your Thanksgiving dinner, perhaps? You say, why do they pant after they are after they've eaten? They pant because their stomach cavity is very full. They can eat proportionately much more of their body mass than we can. And so with a big fat full stomach like that, it pushes up against the diaphragm, makes it difficult to expand the chest cavity. So that's one reason. So they have to take shallow breaths. The other reason is that apparently the extra oxygen pumping through and over the blood vessels that line the digestive tract help them to digest a bit quicker and absorb the nutrients that they need to. So they need that oxygenated blood to be pumping around the digestive tract, and that helps them to absorb the nutrients that they need to. We're going to see if we can catch up with him. While we do that, let's head across to Jamie Patterson and find out what she has for you on her little delicate ballerina feet.